Americans who are younger have been much in the news because people under 40, how difficult it is to buy a home. The student loan debt for people who went to college or trade school. All the obligations that they have. How in the world are they ever going to save money? And weirdly, data shows that people from teenage years to age 39 are doing more to invest than any prior generation. I mean, you go back a couple of generations, and people really didn't worry about this saving and investing stuff because they had what they called the three stools. They had whatever money they saved, they had Social Security, and they had a pension from where they worked. Overwhelmingly, not everybody, but overwhelmingly people had pensions. Today, like nobody has pensions. So now the pension plan is ourselves. And there's been a culture shift that is so wonderful because now investing is approachable for just about anybody at any age, especially starting even as young as 13. And people that are in their teens and 20s especially are really into this. Sometimes they're not making the greatest investment choices. I shared recently about my 18-year-old son who took money he'd made and put it in the stock market. And he's not doing it the way I would do it. He's got to do his thing. And we'll see what happens with that. But I'm looking at a chart from the New York Fed that shows that people 18 to 39 are saving at 4 times the rate of people that are in older age groups. I mean, it's crazy that they're doing this and building portfolios. What they're doing is they're taking money they have and they are investing, understanding the long term. And so guess what? What percent of teenagers now are investing? 1 out of 4. Oh my goodness. Try to imagine that. I mean, who knew a stock from a bond when you were 15? People didn't know that stuff, right?
It's crazy. And, you know, every generation always says the next one is doomed and, you know, the world is doomed. And
and that the new generation is lazy and they blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, this contradicts that for sure.
It is really fantastic to see this happening. And again, as I have stressed for 40 years, and it's not exactly brain science, if a kid develops a habit of living on less than what he or she makes, and they invest some of that less that they don't spend, that they have the beauty of time to create wealth down the road, which obviously they're interested in. Instead of just putting it in a savings account somewhere, they are investing. And you look at our tool, you look at charts, you'll see that when a teenager starts working, money that they save, and where it needs to be saved is in a Roth IRA, money they save will create tremendous financial security down the road. Years ago, I had this thing, before we had all the fancy tools we have now, where we had a static chart that showed that if a kid saved money up to age 22 and never saved another dime their entire adult working life, that they would still be a millionaire if they saved a certain amount of money that wasn't very much, just from having put that money in and invested it, that down the road they'd be a millionaire. And we called that article and the chart, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Because it was way back when there was a show about, called that or something close to it.
Yep, that was called that.
Yeah. So know that investing is how you create wealth, because wealth flows to owners. In a free market economy, wealth flows to owners. And our kids are getting that. We may not have really tuned into that, but they are. And they got something to teach us. We think that we're the ones to teach them, but they got something here to teach us.